Sir call him.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Still only, hello?
So around 40 are there, sir. Sorry, 20 are there,
24.
20 are there.
including us. So, but we'll start now.
Okay, 50% is absent. Okay.
No, sir, they will be joining. So they will be joining.
Because I wish they can join from the beginning, otherwise they will miss most of the things. Okay.
Yeah, that we realize.
Okay. Okay, there are only 24. Okay. Okay then. Okay, no problem. We'll start now.
Yes, sir.
Sangeeta, maybe we can send a message or a mail. Meanwhile, we'll start so that they
Okay,
join.
ma'am. Okay,
Okay,
ma'am.
madam.
Thank
Good morning, everybody. Respected Dr. K. Vijayaraghavan, our former Director and Joint Director Extension of IRI, and today's esteemed speaker, Dr. Premlata Singh, Head Division of Agricultural Extension and convener of this training program, and my colleagues in training organization team, Dr. V. Sangeeta and Dr. Girjesh Mahara, and fellow participants. So today on the fourth day morning session, we are here with us. We have Dr. K. Vijayaraghavan sir. And at the outset, I'd like to request our head of the division, Dr. Premlata madam, for her remarks, and welcome.
Good morning, Dr. Vijay Raghavan, and of course, all my colleagues and students and friends. It's my pleasure to welcome Dr. K. Vijay Raghavan, and especially in this training, because I consider him a management guru of our division. Management has really grown under his leadership, and he was teaching the courses also, not only teaching, he had a number of research projects also, where he has developed, management development modules, and they have sub modules, 13 one of them, carrying all aspects. And so you have not only developed those modules, it was not theory. In fact, you have demonstrated your leadership and management qualities. You have been professor here, you have been head at IRI, Joint Director Extension. You also were dean for some time and officiating director also of IRI. So in all, like in all categories, whether as a scientist, as a teacher, as an administrator, as a research manager, you have demonstrated these management qualities. So I think you're the most appropriate person, and this training program would have been incomplete without your session. We are so grateful to you that you have accepted to be with us today. Thank you so much, and again, a very warm welcome.
It's good.
Thank you, madam. And with the permission of our esteemed resource person, I'd like to briefly introduce him to this gathering. And Dr. K. Vijayaraghavan, born on 16th of September in 1952 in Tamil Nadu. And he did his BSc and MSc in Agricultural Extension from Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, and PhD from Agricultural Extension from Division of Agricultural Extension, IARI, New Delhi. And he did a postdoctoral program from Department of Agricultural Education, Ohio State University, Columbus. And he joined ARS and as a scientist in Agricultural Extension in 1976. And he is the first batch ARS scientist, And after completing his illustrious career, he superannuated as a director officiating IRI, and also prior to that, he was a joint director extension, and then he was head of the division of agricultural extension at IRI. He was a professor, and among his contributions, as Madam already told, he is considered as a management expert and management guru, and he was involved in implementation, in conception, in validation of several innovative agricultural extension models, including IRI post office linkage extension model, and for which he also he was a recipient of Hari Om Ashram Trust Award in social science for biennium 2014-15 of ICAR. And he was also involved in IRI SAU partnership extension model for technology assessment and transfer, IRI voluntary organization partnership extension model for technology assessment and transfer, IRI model village for enhancing the productivity and income of the farmers, and analyzing and devising extension models. Then education and capacity building in rural resource management, then designing and testing of modules for management development in extension organization, and for which he is known widely. And these 14 modules really been replicated by many of those research organizations and extension management organizations. So we are grateful, sir, that you are here with us and you taught us management, and it is really a fortunate moment for all of us that you are again taking this session. And today's your topic is, sir, on time management and the time management for personality development. And I'd like to just briefly tell about this training, as you are well aware of the life skills and personality development course content. But till now, we have covered like stress and conflict management for personal effectiveness, team building principles, and then self-motivation and achievement motivation, then understanding self and leadership attributes for personality development. Then we also covered the resource realization, realizing personal strength and mental blocks through tower building exercise. And today here with us with the topic on time management for personality development. And I request you to, sir, kindly start the session. We have about 40 participants with us from different agricultural universities, including IRI, and they are all from master's and PhD level. Some of them are from agricultural extension discipline, but we also have students from other disciplines. So with this, I request you to kindly start the session, sir.
That's good. Good morning to all of you, and very long, formal welcome and introduction. I really thank my own friends at IRI, Premlata Singh and Burman and Dr. Sangeeta and Dr. Mehra. It's a wonderful team we had when I was working there for about, I spent all my professional life at IRI, 38 years, and it's good privilege. So I really thank Dr. Burman spoke a lot of good words. I don't deserve them. And let me straightaway go into the topic. I will share the screen, okay? It's good. I'm glad that you have already gone through various topics related to skills in self-management as well as your personality development. So this morning, I wish if you can get a little more on time management, okay? So many of you might have curious to know about how to manage time. It's one of the very important aspect of life, okay? So now just imagine, we developed this time management module as a part of the 13 management modules at IRI, okay? So whenever, I still remember, and I used to meet some of the participants. We had an experimental program on this one, and Premlada and Monica was our team members. Three of us developed these modules. Premlada might have already conducted a stress management as well as a conflict management. And when we used to do this one, we used to have about 20 participants. We used to bring them all to the outside extension division, and we used to have a running race. So this program will start with a running race. I still remember, when I met some of the participants of this program, they said, "Oh, look, sir, we can't forget the running race." And they all ran. I don't think any girl participated, women participated, but the men used to run, and some of them fell down. Of course, it was a grass, so they didn't hurt much. So, and we used to give rewards, okay? And we used to declare who is the winner and who is the runner, right? I wish, we conduct this similar running race so that you don't forget your this program. But unfortunately, because of COVID, we are not able to meet face to face. So, and just imagine that we are all running, and now we have drawn the line, and you are standing on the start point, and all of you are running, and now 100-meter dash. So you come first is winner, right? Maybe I don't know who could run very fast in your own team, about 30 plus students and others. And the second is a runner, okay? So now I'm giving, okay, the first winner, okay? Maybe the Department of Extension is so generous. So they've given me money, the prize money of runner, 10,000 rupees, okay? I'm not demanding 10,000 from the department just for the sake of, So don't fearful, Dr. Berman. Okay, we're not going to ask money from you. And runner is given 5,000 rupees, right? This is imaginary, okay? Giving money. Now, the question I'm asking is, you have finished the race as the winner, okay? Now, I'm asking the question, okay? I want all of you to, maybe I will ask questions and you have to answer, right? Did you run twice as the runner-up to get the place of winner? Did the winner run twice as the fast as the runner-up, the second man? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Quite obviously, no. That means the speed of the winner was not twice as the speed of the runner-up, right? That really means the first fellow who got the first prize did not run twice as the second fellow, right? But what made the difference is that you had to run just a few centimeters or a few 1 or 2 meters or inches ahead of the runner, right? It's true. But you ask, but did the first fellow get twice the amount of the second man?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
The department was so generous. He got 10,000, but the second fellow got 5,000. In some cases, the second fellow will not even getting any prize money, right? So never forget in your life, even if you don't learn anything out of this session, you should understand, in order to get twice the amount of profit success in your life, you need not spend twice the amount of efforts. What is needed is meeting the deadlines. What is needed is to prepare for the exam in advance. What is needed is to prepare and submit the project for funding in advance. What is needed is you meet the deadlines and meeting the reports, results, right? So that in the world we live, I've seen it, 90% of the students and 90% of the scientists have the problem of meeting the deadlines, but your management looking for the people who can meet the deadlines. We were myself, and one of the DDG education, we were in the team to visit, Sri Lanka as a delegation, right? It was a 7 days program. So that DDG education, okay. And he was telling, look, Vijay Raghavan, I'm, given the responsibilities of, heading this delegation, not only Sri Lanka, in many countries. And I asked him, sir, what is the secret? And you know what he told me? Dr. Vijay Raghavan, look, I'm the only, one of the few men who submit the report of my delegation in time. I get the work done, prepare the report, right? So when you really do a good work, now you really are much wanted, right? When you finish everything deadline, of course, there is also danger. They'll give you more work assigned. You should also able to say no, but you are winner, right? Under the changed circumstances of fund resources, right? Now, okay, now next is, we all know the time, okay, but I also want to know what is the time, right? What's the time? I'm not asking it is 9:31 exactly in my watch. Now, how do you define the time? Any one of you can define the time as given in a dictionary? Any one of the students, participants, can you really feel free? Okay, unmute yourself and tell what do you mean by time? Anything, not necessarily formal definition. Can you really tell what is the meaning of time? Don't feel bad, whether right or wrong answer, don't feel bad. I want everyone, to unmute and they tell. I want to do a participatory session rather than, one-way traffic. Tell, what is the time? What do you mean by time? Otherwise, I have to name you, okay?
Time is a limited resource.
A little louder, tell me.
Time is a limited resource which has to be used wisely.
Okay, time, limited resources. That is true, I understand. Anything else? Surya Kanta Rai.
The time is like a river and which waits for none.
Time is like a river. We're all poets, I think. Okay. We're all poetic. I want at least, time is like a river, time is resources. Now, what, anyone else?
Indefinite means it contains the name of any event.
What's that?
Indefinite event. It can happen anytime.
Indefinite event. No, I think you are a little close. A time is an interval between two successive events, right? This is the dictionary definition of right? Today my session is, started at 9:15. So it may go up to 10:15 or plus or minus. So it's a 1 hour duration. We measure time by, the interval, the distance travel between two events, right? Now, there are so much strange things about the time. If you think deeply, I want it to be, philosophical. That really means, can you control time? You say
Sir.
time goes, right? But no, time stays, we go. One day we all have to go. Maybe from 100 years now, or even 90 years from now, nobody will be here. Those who are participating in this program, we won't be here. We will be buried. We might have been buried, and even our bone might have been, digested by the soil. We go, but time Is time a dimension of the universe? Time and space are linked to one another. Can we say that time can exist without space and right? Now the space cannot exist without time. Okay, it's a dimension of space. The famous ancient said the time and space are related to one another. Now, I'm not a physicist. We don't want to go into the details of relativity theory. I'm not going to ask you and explain the relativity theory, but this time is really, quite strange and mysterious, right? Now, how do you measure time? You tell me. How do you measure time? It's very simple questions.
In
Open up.
minutes or hours.
Don't be fearful.
In minutes or hours, sir.
Right, you are correct. The time is measured in minutes and hours. And exactly, it is a very, very, strange things, our clocks may fail, but the way in which, that your movement of, celestial bodies like stars and moon, and the earth travel, right? And we have to adjust our clock to their exactness. Our clock may fail, but the way the earth travels, move, they're exactly. I don't know how it is all done. It's something very mysterious. So I wanted to get into a kind of philosophical so that after all, now you all measure time by the clock, the measure of your minutes, seconds, and years, right? How many of you want to now? I'm asking one question, which is more important? The time lived, right? Is the measure of time done through the clock is sufficient? Or the time lived is more important than time measured?
Time lived.
Which is more important?
So time lived.
Time lived is more important.
That is what I want you to wanted to really experience and have a kind of understanding. Look, if I ask you a question, the point is, how long you want to live on the earth? Any answer? Don't be afraid. Under COVID condition, we may die anytime. But how long you want to live? If God gives a chance, you can determine the number of age you want to live. What will be your answer to that God? Suman, Alka Singh, can you tell your answer?
So how long we can enjoy our life?
That's what I'm asking. How long you want to live? God is
Sir,
telling, I will grant you the number of you want to live. How many years you will want ask for?
Okay.
Agarwal, tell.
80 years. 80.
80 years.
70,
What
80
is it?
years.
Huh?
70, 80 years.
70, 80 years. Okay, she's not very confident now. Whenever I ask students, some students tell, 70, 75, 80, right? Now I'm nearing 68. Okay, I've already completed 68. Now you tell me one thing. It doesn't matter. No, whether I live for 70, 80, or 30, how long we live is not so important. How meaningfully we live or the purpose for which we live. In this one quotation lives the entire time management, right? It is not, you might have come with an understanding, okay, time management is now how to get more things out of less time. No, that is also needed, right? Now, the point is, many of us will live, okay, and we achieve, and we find ourselves, the ladder of success lean upon the wrong wall. And we find it only at the end of life, and it is too late, right? So you're all young. You should really understand, right? There are some strange observation. Do we, if the strange, if your time is money, do we have the power to store it? When we say time flies away, or are you more absorbed with the work, right? When we say we have no time, do you really see that it's not priority of this work? Now, finally, can you manage time? This is a misnomer, time management. But I'm giving this topic, time management, okay? Can you manage time or not? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
No, by the time I think I have not given the right things. You can never manage time because time is, we all go, time is, you can never manage time. You can never, in the sense of what I want to tell is, you can only manage yourself. So time management is nothing but management of self. All agreed? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes,
Right?
yes, yes,
Ashwani Kumar, I'm not seeing other faces, I think.
yes, sir,
But
yes, sir.
all agreed?
Yes, sir.
Suman,
Yes, sir.
Suman
Yes, sir.
and Alka
Yes,
Singh
yes, sir.
and Bhuvana and all other students all agree you can only manage yourself.
Ourselves.
Am I right?
Yes, sir, yes.
Yes, sir.
That's true. That's what you should understand. So if there are problems in time management, the problems in managing self, right? But nevertheless, for the purpose of definition, okay, we will define the time management as a process of planning, controlling your own self, right? Or to achieve effectiveness and efficiency in achieving one's goal. That really means is all related to your goal, right? So that means how within this duration of life, as a student, you got a goal, right? And as you are a scientist, you got a goal, and you got a goal at various levels, right? How to achieve effectively, meaningfully, okay? Now, I will want to give an exercise. We used to conduct this exercise in our classroom. Whenever I teach this time management, I still remember, and we used to go, I used to come to the class and have this exercise. All students, I want you to also answer this one. So now the thing is, I think somebody has to mute yourself, okay? Otherwise you're echoing, okay? Can you just mute yourself, Ashwini Kumar? Ashwini Kumar, mute yourself. Thank you. Now, here is jar, right? I bring to this training session, just imagine we are all face to face, and now you really see this glass is full of, rocks and is all now, right? Now the question is, okay, the exercise was first, developed by a man called Stephen Covey in his book, First Thing First. So I want you to, if you are truly, excited by this topic, I want you to get a book on this First Thing First. You will never regret. And that you can go to, Amazon.com and Google, and you can order this book, maybe a few hundred rupees. Okay. Now, is this jar full or not? Any answer?
No, sir.
No, sir.
It is not full.
No. No, sir.
Why
No,
it is
sir.
not full?
Some places are there
What's that?
between the rocks.
Okay.
So some spaces are there between the rocks.
Yes, sir.
Good. I think we're all very, very good students. Okay. So some spaces are there in between the rocks. Okay. Now, I'm putting first rocks. Second, I am putting some gravel, okay, and fill it up, right? Now, if the jar is full,
No, sir.
No, sir.
why it is not full?
Because we can even fill water again.
Still face is there.
Space is there.
I'm putting a fine sand. Is the jar is full?
No, sir.
No,
No, sir.
definitely not. We're all very intelligent, okay? And I am adding, okay. Okay, now I'm adding water, okay? And make it full.
Yes, sir.
Now it is full or not?
Yes, sir.
Now it is full, okay? So now you all answer very correctly, okay? But the point is, what's the meaning of this? Why this experiment? What's the meaning of this? What's the meaning of this experiment? Anyone can tell? What's the meaning of jar? What's the meaning of rock? What's the meaning of gravel or pebble? What's the meaning of fine sand? What's the meaning of water? And why it is done? What's the meaning you can get out of this? What the professor wants to convey through this small exercise? This
Life is not filled with only one thing.
What's that? Can you tell?
Life is not,
Life is
our daily life will not be in an equal.
Can you little louder and clear? Others unmute one at a time. Tell.
Sir, our life events will not be in an equal thing. It will be ups and downs. So we have to adjust everything to
Okay.
manage our time properly.
What's the meaning of beaker?
Beaker is the entire duration of our life, I think.
Okay, it's good. Beaker is your life. So there are
Entire
ups
duration.
and downs.
It should be filled with our work. Means
Okay, it's
ups
filled with your work.
and downs, ups and downs, everything.
Ups
Means
and
it is
downs.
not only.
So life consists of pleasurable experience. Life consists of painful experience. Life consists for success. Life consists for failure. This is what you want to mean?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
No, think little deeper. Anything else? Don't say yes immediately.
Sir, weaker is a goal.
Beaker is a goal.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What's your name?
Shailaja.
Shailaja. You are from which place?
Sir, I am from Maharashtra.
Maharashtra is good. I think she got the point. Beaker is
Yes,
not
sir.
a goal. Beaker is your
Sir,
life.
that says us that number of times we try, but at that time when we try, big stones are, that means we try little much.
Okay.
And then smaller stones say we harder it, and at lastly the water says that we thoroughly we put ourselves in that.
Okay, okay, at least you got it one important point. Now look at it. Oh, look, the point is, now I'm asking another question. Suppose beaker is, you bring the beaker, okay? Instead of rock, I put the water first, right? You all agreed? After I fill the beaker with the water completely, can you put other things, spaces there or not?
No, sir, that is they go fully and they down back. Water is go drop.
Water flows out.
Right,
Yes,
that
sir.
is true. You can put it, but there won't be any space. Now, the most important thing is now, most of you, I think, someone one got a goal. The beaker is your life, entire life duration. Or it could be seen as the beaker is your everyday. Or it could be beaker is your every month, every week, right? and the rocks, gravel, fine sand, and your water is talking about your goals, how important they are. That Ilmi, can you just unmute yourself? Can you, all of you mute yourself? I think Alka Singh, mute yourself. Okay. That really means, can you fill your beaker life with the water, which is water really means, which is very, very less important in relation to your goal. That means these all are activities are now you will fill your life with, first thing is put your rock, right? The point is put the big rock first. What is most important thing in your life, right? Most important goal for you. What's the most important thing you have to do today? What's the most, and which is very, very important from my goal success point of view. So fill your time every day with the most, the next is next important, next is little more less important, and the least is the least important. But if you fill every day with the water, the less important, then there is no time for, there is important like a rock thing. All agreed? All understand? This is the lessons of time management. This is the lesson Stephen Covey wants to convey to the participants. Oh, the most important thing is you should really know, as if you have to manage yourself, you should be clear about your goal you want to achieve. Rather, how after you spend 80 years, how do you want to measure your success in life? You want to measure success in the life with the amount of money you made, houses and cars you made, or the promotion you got it. So at the end of 80 years, look, I got, so in my tombstone, I write my name, Vijay Raghavan. Okay. He's got 2 houses, 1 car, and he retired as a joint director extension or acting director extension. You want to be written like that? And he left this much bank balance. Have you seen any tombstone like that? A pita like that?
No, sir.
Huh?
No, sir.
Why? Even though everybody says we don't want money, but everybody is involved in making more and more money, right?
Yes.
So the question is, your time managing self really means, how do you define your goal? No doubt money is needed, promotion is needed, right? Now, in everywhere, we should really, I'm not here to teach you, it depends upon your values, your faith, right? Because your goal depends. Of course, all of you students, you got a goal of getting PhDs, and there are immediate goals of getting a job. That's all important. Now, it can apply anywhere, but ultimately, you got everything you wanted, but somehow you didn't live, the ultimate purpose which you set. That means the ladder is leaning on the wrong walls, right? That means you should also prioritize the goals. There could be ultimate goal, okay, and other goals. And third is scheduling of the task, right? Now, I will go quickly. Now, we all know that I will not take much time. By this time, you would really know your goals should be, for example, now we will stick to the goal which is immediately regarding your studies. For example, I would like to give you, I'm not going to talk about, your ultimate goal or your life goal, though that is very, very more important. But really take the case of, your studies. You want to get a job, you want to finish your PhD, you want to get 80% mark in the course, or you have to do this, or you want to earn this much money. Time specific, measurable, realistic, positive, right? Now, when you have to prioritize goal, here what is very important: highly important, important, less important, very less important, right? Now, for example, now, what are the things I have to do today, right? What is very, very important for me today? I have to do exercise, I should have healthy food, I should go to the bank, I should study for exam. There's so many activities in a day. So let us be a little more practical, okay? There are so many things I had to do. I had also plan, I had to talk to the friends, establish relationship. I should meet people so that I get some kind of funding agencies. I know it, correspond with other people. I study for exam so that I get into ARS, right? Which is more important? Now, all of you know, if I were students, my job will be highly important is getting into job. So I should really prepare, plan for the job, look for opportunities, right? And another important is, as it is, I should study for my coursework, right? Other less important, attending functions, right? And, taking time with, TV and other friends or some other, many times we get, you attend that function, this functions, that meeting, these meetings, some phone calls, meetings and WhatsApp, so much of groups we waste all time. They're all less important, right? Now, here it comes. You heard about Pareto principle? Has anyone heard the Pareto principle?
Yes, sir.
What's the Pareto principle? At least those who are economists, they should be able to tell who was the Pareto. Can you really tell what's the meaning of Pareto principle?
He is Wilton Pareto, sir, in management. Yeah. हाँ ऊपर को जी आ रहा हूँ.
Okay, don't worry. Now, Pareto, you're from which university? What's your name? Which university you are coming from?
Sir, I'm Madhulata, sir.
From where?
From National Dairy Research Institute, sir, NDRI.
Okay, NDRI is good. Now, Pareto was Italian economist, right? He found one rule called, I wish you could have tell this rule, 80 by 20.
80, yes, sir.
He said 20% of Italian people own 80% of the wealth. Perhaps in India, 10% of Indians own 90% of the wealth, right? Now, this is not an exact thing, okay? This is an observation, okay? Don't apply it to exactly in a mathematical sense, right? The point is telling is, like, you will really see this, okay? Yeah, why it is not going? 20% of your time will be responsible for 80% of productivity, okay? Or 20% of the employees will be account for 80% of productivity. That means that Pareto economic principle is also applicable to other walks of life, that your 20% of the clients will be responsible for 80% of the purchase. And this is again applicable in time management. That means 20% of your time will be responsible for 80% of your productivity. If you want to get a job, right, or get into ARS or anything, now that means the most important or significant items, right? Oh, sorry. The most or important or significant item of a given group forms a relatively small part of the total, right? That really means, as someone also said it, you are having a training program, how many, there are maybe, typically take your class, right? You are undergoing a class, maybe on Saturn, could be any course. Your 80% of the satisfaction will come from 20% of the classes. Or you take the lecturers, your 80% of your satisfaction will come from 20% of the teachers or professors. Now, this is not exactly mathematical thing, but the point is, how do the secret is, what are those 20% of those activities, a task which contributes to your results? That really means, for example, have you ever seen the successful students getting into ARS apart from their intelligence IQ? They plan, they spend their time, you do not know, they may seem to be, outside, but they planning from the beginning, right? And procure notes, memorize, get the, what kind of questions will come. They prepare well in advance, right? But in the university, there are so many activities. There are cultural activities, there are sports activities, there are that meetings and this meeting. They are urgent, less important. But such intelligent students will not waste time on this. I'm not telling wasting, but obviously they're less important from the point of view of getting into their goal. But if your goal is only sports, not a job, then it's okay. It all depends on the goal. I got a job, I got a family business, I don't care about my job. That's okay. It depends upon your goal, right? And if your goal is getting a 90% the top mark, then how do you spend? You don't waste time like, chit-chatting, wasting in WhatsApp or YouTube and listening. Oh, look, what are the topics? Go to library and see, study, plan. That means concentrate on those activities, right? Which will produce as productivity. If you can spend another 15 to 20% of your time on these activities, right? In that way, that is how, where it will be good, right? Now, we are coming to, see this, how to prioritize our time, right? Now, this is what I want to really see it. And we want to go for this one. Now, identify 80% of these activities which produces only 20% of the results. And try to get rid of those items. If it is not possible all the time, at least you should be able to get rid of. You all understand? That means you identify useless activities, right? And how to get rid of those things. Even if you can't get rid of all, like meetings, going, friendship, phone calls, right? But you can definitely get into it. That means those good managing self are, they're very conscious of what they do in relation to their goal. And those who are fools are, they just go by what, whatever the pressures put by others. Today, the so-and-so will tell, do this. Your head will tell, your professor will tell, and friends will tell, okay, let us go along with the crowd, and moved by the objectives of others. They don't move by their own goals. You're pulled down by the pressures around you. It could be very urgent also, right? Any question on this? Any question on this? You all understood now?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, yes.
At least I've told you to listen. This is the skill, right? You have to develop. This is not a skill. That really means skills in really identifying what you want and also what to do this. Now the problem is, we also give. You will also know there are we can classify the goal or the task in terms of important less important, as well as urgent, not urgent. So you can classify, for example, tomorrow what you're going to do, not important and not urgent. Important and urgent. Important and not urgent. Not important and urgent task. Right? Now, can you give an example? Not important, right? Now, I will give an example of here. This is what, in any time management seminar, they will tell you, right? Now, here are urgency, right? Urgent, no, okay, not urgent. Here, important, right? Not important. In this fourth quadrant, now, important, they're not urgent, right? Sorry, yeah, urgent and important. I'm sorry. It's very, very urgent, but also important. Health, you get into health issues or you get into pressing problems, deadlines press, you have to meet the deadlines, you have to prepare for, summit, come to this, seminar and attend. But there are important, but not urgent. Here comes the whole crux of this time management. For example, you joined your INDRI, IRI, and universities first year. Now, what is important? I should get good marks. I should get into ARS or any other job, right? And I should plan for it, how to get the materials. If you're employee, how to build relationship to get the fund, and how to find new opportunities for growth and development, how to improve my health. They are not necessarily very, very urgent. They are not urgent. You got 2 years to go, right? You got 30 years for work as a scientist. But many times they are not important, but they are urgent. Meetings, pressing matter, friends come, going to some other things, right? And there are other things not urgent and not important, time wastage, phone calls, right? Many people come. Now, I can only say that is, if you are, do all urgent but they are important, you're wasting. That's what, if you're putting the water, fill the beaker with the water or fine gravel every day, right? You have no time for these activities. You are crisis managing. Always put in the fire, putting off the fire, urgent and important, right? We spend a lot of deal in urgent, but not important. And second is urgent, okay, not important. Crisis, right? And people who spend time in third and fourth basically lead irresponsible lives. You can judge your own self, right? Effective people stay out of the quadrants third and fourth because urgent and not, they're not important, right? Now, effective people string quadrant 1 down to science, spending more time in quadrant 2. Now, quadrant 2 is the heart of time management. That really means, I'll go back here. Even if you're not understood other things, but you should be able to understand. Here comes you have to concentrate. If you are concentrating on any of the three, right, you are irresponsible, crisis management. A good student, right, or a good scientist, or a good person who wants to manage, that means in relation to your goal, right? Now, I hope I have given Now I'll go quickly. Maybe Dr. I will take maybe another 15 minutes. Okay. Dr. Barman is there. I will take another 15 minutes. That's okay.
It's okay, sir. Please continue.
Okay. Now, third priority is scheduling of the task. I want to tell a very interesting thing. When I was a student at TNAU, okay, I was doing my MSc Agriculture Extension, and my roommate name is Arul Raj. And we were, after completing MSc, we got into ARS. Arul Raj was the topper in ARS. We were able to beat IRS students in 1976. Even though our department started only late in IRA started very earlier, but we were able to do that. I got the 5th rank All India in extension, not an overall, but an extension discipline. Now, I used to see him, I was not having this habit, but this Arul Raj he retired as a director of, ICR, one of the institutes dealing with the oil palm in Andhra Pradesh. And he's a short fellow and little having more weight. So he used to get up in the morning, right? And before leaving the room, he used to take a chit, okay? And he used to write down all the things, right? What are those things to be done tomorrow or today? And he will keep the list with himself, a small sheet of paper. That means do-to list. Today, I should go to library, or I should go to the bank, I should prepare this, I should meet this professor, all things. Then as soon as, the job is over, he will tick mark everything and he will come and review every day in the evening. Do you have this habit? Do you have a do-to list? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
How many of you have this list? Do you have a list today? What do you want to do today? Have you prepared list today?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, that's true. I know that most of you are, irresponsible life because you think your memory is better than the things. I wish I can show that. In fact, in my last management that I was teaching, that there are small, reminder, small booklet. Am I right? When I was a scientist, I used to have, even now I have. That is not only you have the goal, prioritize, schedule the task, what you want to do every day, every week, every month. Right? Now, importance of is, here is the one, the same thing what I told about my friend Arul Raj. The very famous, in Israel, there is a city, Jerusalem, and there is an advertisement, and an owner of, that steel plant of the big city, he made an advertisement in a paper. I am going to give $25,000 prize. That happened in 1960s and 70s. Now it is much more valuable. Can you give any advice to me how to manage my time effectively every day? Very simple but effective. And if that works, I'm going to give $25,000 as a prize. He received so many, ideas, but he got a very simple idea and he picked up the idea, he practiced it, and that really worked. What was the idea? The idea is nothing but what my friend Arul Raj was practicing. The idea was, look, he was really telling, you before go to the bed, right? He was telling, not to the day morning, before you go to the bed, right? You keep a small booklet, what I should do tomorrow, and classify the to-do very important or important, right? Listed all things. And once you list out, then you get some ideas. For example, when I was in IRA in 1960s, 70s, we all used to go to libraries. Nowadays, people don't visit library, and you may be knowing that IRA library is and post office nearby. So I may have to work in library, returning books, getting the journal, and I also have the activities in the post office to send letter or money or some other things. So if you list out, then I can combine the both work same time. Otherwise, one day I have to make a visit to post office, then I forget about the library, then again make a visit. So I save time. Same time, I may have a work with the central office, central office, post office are nearby. So I visit the central office to do the work. So 3 works combined, so I don't waste time. All maybe I list out all maybe 20 or what activities, and what he was telling is you tick mark once the activity is completed. And he says even if you completed 70 to 80% of that activities you listed, that is enough. That's what maximum you can do. Be happy, right? Now prepare in advance, and that to-do list, do it every day, every week, you do every month. Flexible, evaluate performance, right? Now here is another work is Parkinson law. That means, like I told about what was the earlier thing we saw, Pareto principle, right? That is 80/20 rule. And here is Parkinson law is a proverb, work expands so to fill the time available in its completion. Suppose you are an employee, I am giving you only one work to do. Okay, you will do the work, take 8 hours, right? So the work will expand, right? But the same fellow give the 2 work, you also complete it. That means he is able to do the same work in 50% of the time, another work another 50% of the time. So, but there has to be optimum. You can't give 10 works. Likewise, if you do not have the plan, right, you do not know, you will waste time. That means only one work you are able to concentrate and completely do the work in 8 hours or 10 hours, right? So that you fill your, you should have optimum amount of work to be done, right? Prepare the master list, right? Now, we all have the problem, like you tend to rely on memory. So you should really, out of this, I practice this for about 30, even now I practice this. I wish I can show that in my thing and do to list and prepare this very simple, effective tool, even though we have electronic, organizers and all now is all long term short term. I will go quickly now. We got a traditional diary chart and organizers. But with all the things I found that the paper or do list is very effective. Of course, you should have the diary long-term goal, what to do. Even now I have those who do know that Dr. Y.P. Singh used to say, idea trapper, small, notebook, keep it in a pocket. Whenever idea comes, you write it down, otherwise forget it. And also when you get a reference, when you'll write down the reference, for example, right? When you meet people, get their address, phone call, phone numbers, everything. Keep that, right? Now I used to revise that. I used to go through and I used to laugh at myself. Oh, these are the things I used to do. So you should be able to do that effective managing. So now I will not take more than 5 minutes. The important thing is procrastination. Okay. And postpone that thing. We all have these problems. Okay. I'll just go very quickly. I will leave the slides. You can go through it very neatly. The tendency that I will do it tomorrow and the tomorrow will never come, because there is one, Y.P. Singh used to say, right? The word, okay, best is the enemy of the good. You know what's the meaning of this? The best is the enemy of the good. What's the meaning of this? What do you get out of this?
Sir, they say our lacunas, sir. Our enemies are says lacunas of our.
What's the meaning of this?
Our enemies are say our lacunas, sir. So we
No.
can improve that.
No. You read. I'm giving this two statement. Can you agree with that or not? What's the meaning of this? Best is the enemy of the good. B-E-S-T. Best is the enemy of the good. What's the meaning of this?
Means, sir.
In terms of, in relation to procrastination, what's the meaning of this? I will do tomorrow. I will do tomorrow. What's the meaning of this? Anyone can explain that?
Excuse me, sir. Can you please repeat the first one?
Best, B-E-S-T. Best is the enemy of the good. G-O-O-D. Good. Good things. Best things.
So like in fulfilling or running behind doing best things, we'll leave out the good things we can do.
Yeah, you are nearer. The point is, we postpone the thing telling, oh, I'm going to do the perfect work. I'm not getting the mood. When I get the best mood, then only I will sit and study. You are aiming for the best number 1. You don't even get the number 50. You don't even end up in doing good thing because you're waiting for the best mode, best opportunities, best poem, best article, right? I want to write, if at all right, I'll write the best book. You don't, because you postpone. But it is also a good thing. Another good is the enemy of the best. Both are correct. Because we are satisfied with the good, not the best. So both are equally correct. But one is related to procrastination. Because we are waiting for the best time to occur, best mood to come. Okay. So now I will reasons all that we want to do perfectly and we don't want to do unpleasant work and all other things. Now, anyhow, you can see this all, how to overcome this procrastination, realize your problems, sit and whether you got this problem or not, proper planning. Now, this is the end of my one techniques to save time. You know, is learn to relax, get up early, effective decision making, be able to say no, organize your office room, effective filing system. Now, you should know how to handle your emails, papers, unproductive work. You should learn to delegate work. You can't do every work yourself. Use only one organizer. If you're able to know, you should be able to retrieve. If you want to see any book in your library, small, your own library, able to locate any paper. If you are in the computer, you should be able to locate your own, PPT or any file, anything, right? Effective system to retrieve and effective. For example, many times we waste time in meetings. I've seen it in government offices. If the meeting can be conducted in 1 hour, I've seen it, they waste 2 to 3 hours. Good skills in reading effectively and writing, okay? And this is another very important. Time management is self-management. If you can keep your physical health, emotional health, we waste a lot of time in mood, worry, depression, fear. That is one of the time wasters. Students, they brood over their failures, past, guilty of the sins they've done or something, other things. And they think exercise is a waste. But doing physical exercise, keeping your thing half an hour every day is good. Overall, you will have able to avoid sickness, unhealthy physical environment, right? Maintain, and also your eating habits, poor eating habits, and overeating, lack of sleep, physical sickness, overwork, all things, worry, depressing, and conflicts. You should maintain a proper relationship. Otherwise, why to, don't think your neighbors are enemies. good relation with neighbors, okay? And not your envy and anger is not going to help you. Unhealthy competition, and keep your energy. You're all young men and women, highest level, right? Positive, fall in love with the job, right? Or the study. Many times, in Indian marriage is good, right? Many times we have seen it. They fall in love before marriage. After marriage, they divorce. But in Indian marriages, they get married without love, but after marriage, they fall in love with their wives and husband. Which is better? You tell me?
Indian marriage.
Fall in love or divorce, or do not have any love before marriage and fall in love after marriage?
After marriage.
Some of you are telling both are wrong. Okay. Now tell me, I am asking you, did you come to agriculture by choice or by default?
Can I say, sir?
Tell me.
Yeah, as my experience before coming in agriculture, I was a student of civil engineering. So when I involved in agriculture, like I started working there, like in Ministry of Agriculture, because I'm from Afghanistan. So as with my experience, what I saw, like people, they're involving in agriculture in every country, like 80 to 90% all depend on agriculture. So it was like, okay, now this is the main thing which I should study, and I have to leave the civil engineering
Good.
subject. And after 3 and 4 semester, I started to, study in agriculture, starting from Bachelor of Agriculture. And once I involved in this thing, it become more like, it give more satisfaction for me, better than civil engineering. And before
Good. So
coming to this
now you
field,
love agriculture, am I right?
yeah,
That's what I want to tell. Most of the Indian students, agriculture is the second preference, and extension is the
yeah,
last preference.
I
Okay,
saw in many places. Yeah.
that is true. So what I wanted to do that, what I wanted to convey the message is, now most of the dissatisfaction comes because I got into wrong profession. No, you married this girl, you married agriculture or extension. Now you start loving that girl or loving the boy. Am I right?
It depends on ourselves, sir.
Yeah, that is true. So that is the secret of, love for the job, love for the work, love for the environment, love for the people. You may not like the people around you, start loving them. You will really feel things. Have a good sleep, music, right? Now I'm end of it. They say that don't have you should have a lot of fruits and vegetables, 1 or 2 meals, at least. For the last 25 years, my wife, myself take breakfast full of vegetables and fruits. We don't take idli, dosa, even though we are from South, right? And do not eat more than 80% of our stomach, so they were very active. Many times students eat more, very sleepy. Even the small thing can't matters, okay? Spend times and walk, read the scripture, and frequent breaks, effective handling, and visitors. Okay, now I'm sorry, my time is up. This is the final slide. You will analyze your time 80/20 and react and allocate time according to priorities to make a list and able to say no, learn to anticipate. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
With this good. Hope you all enjoyed this session. Not only enjoy session, hope
Thank you, sir.
You are able to understand this
Yes,
and
sir.
get this.
Yes, sir.
I hope some of the students who join later, they missed their first part. Perhaps you can listen in this, if it is in your YouTube, you can read, go through it. By that, you will understand completely things. Thank you, Dr. Berman. Thank you very much. Premalal Singh, good.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the wonderful lecture. And it was not only wonderful, it is so useful for all of us at any stage, I would say. Thanks a lot.
That's good.
Yes, Dr. Sangeeta is there? Or
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
Sangeeta, please.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir. So at the outset, I would like to express my formal vote of thanks to you, sir. The session was very useful, not only for the students, for us also. It is always good to listen from you. The session was very useful. I would like to express my sincere thanks to you, sir. And I also would like to express my sincere thanks to our head of the division and to the entire training team, and also for the student community, those who joined and actively participated in the session. Thank you, one and all.
It's good. Thank you very much, Dr. Sangeeta, Dr. Premlata Singh, and Dr. Badman, Dr. Mera, and all IRA students. I love IRA, and of course, I love all other universities also. I really appreciate and thank you for these opportunities. God bless you. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for
Thank you,
joining
sir.
us. And, thank you for
Thank you, sir.
sparing your valuable time for
Good.
this training. And we all benefited with your lecture, sir.
Good. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Madam, I now request you to
We'll have
please
a
start
5
the
minutes
session.
break because the topic is changing. Maybe
Yes, yes.
5 to 7 minutes break. Hai na?
Okay.
Because the
So
also needs
participants, you
break, hai na?
please continue. You please continue, and if you need, you can take a break for 5 minutes, and please join immediately because Dr. Premlata Singh, our head of the division and convener of this training program, she would like to discuss a few issues with you. And then following that, we have a session of Dr. Alka Singh, who is also one of the co-conveners of this training program. And
minimize kar sakte hain na isko bhi.
so please continue with this. And Mr. Roshan,
Yes, sir.
yeah, so are you a part of this training since the beginning, or you have joined today?
I actually joined today. Yesterday I missed. I think it started from yesterday. So when I checked my email, I was thinking like maybe it will be for the next month. So last night, accidentally, I just checked my email and I joined. Like, okay, yeah, I have to. So I think I missed one lecture or like one day season, I think.
I think you have missed at least 2 days because first 2 days you were not there.
Oh.
So since you have joined, you may continue, but I need to take approval from our convener and co-convener about issuing participation certificate to you because you have already missed 2 full days, and maybe third day also. I don't know. I'll check out with the attendance when did you join us. So continue. Now you continue, but we will let you know by tomorrow if you are eligible for the participation certificate or not.
Sir, for me, the certificate is not the big deal or like not important for me. Like what I like learn for an hour, 2 hours, like whatever, like today or tomorrow when I getting the things which is really other students are like earning from there, like the learning and earning is like a thing. So if certificate is okay, otherwise without certificate is